Raise your right hand, ma'am. State your name.
Katelyn Carter.
Someone swear from this one back here. The truth, whole truth, and nothing.
Yes, sir.
Excuse us, close enough.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just realized I called you Caitlin Jones. You are now Katelyn Carter. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I apologize. Okay, so you told the jury your name. Where do you live?
Kingsport.
Okay. Do you know the defendant, Megan Boswell?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you know her?
We were friends in college.
Welcome.
Okay. And if you can, I'm going to ask you to maybe pull that microphone just a little bit closer. There you go.
That sounded like
You were
us Mickey
friends in
Mouse.
college. When you were in college or when she was in college?
When I was in college.
Okay. And when did you first meet her?
Middle school.
Okay. Did you continue to stay friends from middle school until you were in college?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you reconnect at some point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that was when you were in college, I guess?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So during that time,
I had my X-ray done today, so I get the opportunity. I get the lovely opportunity to dwell on it until Tuesday. I'll find out Tuesday. We shall see. Thank you.
is that when you met
Thank you.
Evelyn?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that means you've met Evelyn in person.
Yes.
Okay. How many times do you think you have been around Evelyn?
4 or 5 times.
Okay. And are those times that when you were hanging out with Megan Boswell
Yes,
as
ma'am.
well? Okay. When you hung out with Megan, was Evelyn usually with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you ever recall seeing Megan when Evelyn was not with her?
Yes, ma'am.
And when was that?
The end of our friendship.
Okay. Which was when?
The 1st of December.
Okay.
Oh, spicy.
So then you're saying you saw Megan without Evelyn.
Oh,
first
thank
December.
you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Prior to that,
Yeah.
well, let me rephrase. Before, when you say the 1st of December, do you mean the first day of December or do you mean the first part of December?
The first part.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we were clear on that one. Okay. So prior to the
So
first part of
Evelyn was last seen the 6th of December. I remember that because it's after my birthday.
December, do you recall ever seeing the defendant without Evelyn?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you recall going to Chili's with Megan Boswell at one point?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember when that was?
The end of my college semester.
Okay. And do you know when that would have been?
Around the 1st of December.
Okay. Who was there when you went to Chili's that day?
Me, Megan, and Evelyn.
Okay. Anyone else?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you sit at a table or a booth?
Booth.
Okay. And did you sit beside anyone?
No, ma'am.
So Megan and Evelyn were on one side of the
I'm
table.
waiting
and
for
you were on
it
the
to
other.
have.
Yes, ma'am.
What was your impression of Evelyn that day?
She was dirty, and I could smell her across the table.
Okay. Was she, have you been around babies before?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Was she beyond what a normal dirty baby would be?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Well, I think that rocket would like to go somewhere else just quietly, but yeah. That is awful. I mean, we saw yesterday the absolutely disgusting way that she lived. Now that if you can smell that child, oh God, poor bugger. That's awful.
Sustain.
You said you've been around other babies. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your personal experience with other babies,
No, she doesn't deserve it.
did you consider Evelyn dirtier than what your experience was with other children?
Based on my personal opinion, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you tell us how? Can you describe it for us?
Her face and hands were dirty, and her clothes were dirty.
Do you recall when Megan started working at the chicken shack?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you recall if she was dating anyone when she started working at the chicken shack?
Not when she started.
Okay. When did she start dating someone?
And someone
shortly after?
actually,
About a week
someone
or two after.
actually
Okay.
went to that house and slept in the bed with her. Ill, just ill.
And who was that?
Hunter Wood.
So around this time, did you notice anything different about the defendant, Megan Boswell?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what you noticed?
How do you understand? You
She was spending a
How do you
lot more time
understand?
with the gentleman and not Evelyn.
Okay. After this time, when she's dating Hunter Wood, did you see Evelyn with Megan Boswell at any time?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you see Hunter with Evelyn at any time?
No, ma'am.
Did you have concerns at this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you talk with other people about it?
I don't believe so.
Okay. What were your concerns?
It was strange that Megan Boswell was not with Evelyn because she was always with Evelyn up until this point.
Okay. Did you notice Megan doing things without Evelyn?
Yes, ma'am.
No, she doesn't.
What types of things?
Usually things that you would take your children, such as vacations, going to the aquarium.
I haven't seen Hunter yet. And I don't know who's coming up, sweetheart.
We'll pass you 2 photographs. Take a look at those and see if you recognize them.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, can you tell me what it is?
Megan sent me those when her and Hunter and a few other people went to the aquarium.
Okay, and so you got those personally sent to you from Megan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is a photograph of?
Megan and Hunter Wood at the aquarium.
Your Honor, we'd ask that to be made exhibit number 85.
Any objection?
No, she doesn't.
Because
Just dark
I would
hair.
say that these photos are cumulative. They're essentially the same photo. Performance has been, I would note they're cumulative.
All right, if you want to be introduced separately, I mean, they should be introduced separately. They shouldn't be introduced as a
Okay, you want to do 85 and 86, Your Honor? Permission to publish, Your Honor. Katelyn, is this one of the pictures you received from Megan Boswell? Was it via text?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did she indicate that Evelyn was with her that day?
No, ma'am.
Did she send you any pictures of her with Evelyn that day?
No, ma'am.
Did she seem to be upset at all that day when
No,
she
ma'am.
sent you these pictures? Okay. Did she also send you this photograph from that same day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you tell me what the date is that's behind her on the photograph? Can you read that?
On the top?
Yeah.
It says 2019.
And you may not recall, but if you do you remember when those photographs were sent to you?
I do not recall.
Okay. Would it have been after early December?
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
because it would have been, you said she started dating Hunter 1 to 2 weeks after the beginning of December. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So is it fair to say it was at least 1 to 2 weeks after mid-December?
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. So if we're mid-December well, let me say this. Prior to Thanksgiving of 2019, did Megan talk a lot about Evelyn?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you see her post a lot about Evelyn?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about mid-December? Is she still doing that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. At some point, did you ask her where Evelyn was?
Yes.
What did she say?
She said that she was with her father.
Okay. When you say her father, do you know who do you think she was talking about, or who was she talking about?
Tommy.
She was speaking of Ethan.
Okay.
Oh,
Did she say
baby's father, not
why Evelyn was with Ethan?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she say?
She said that Ethan came home and got emergency custody.
Okay.
Oh,
Did she ever show you any paperwork?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did she ever say why?
Ethan seen photos of Evelyn with a bruise on her head, and he used that.
Okay. And the defendant told you that?
Yes, ma'am.
that was sneaky. After the objection came in. Sidebar. Vince won't be happy with that. Oop. Press K instead of L. Yeah. Absolutely. But she continued the question after the objection. That's what they're pissed about. So they'll probably strike it. Maybe.
Okay. We're going to go back to that. Did Megan say why Ethan had taken emergency custody of Evelyn?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did she say?
She said that Ethan had saw photos of Evelyn with a bruise on her forehead.
Okay. You said she never showed you paperwork of custody.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
They hadn't laid the foundation. That's why.
How many times did she tell you that Evelyn was with Ethan?
A few times.
Okay. Was that in person or via text?
Both.
Okay. So do you remember seeing Megan around Christmas?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where did you see her?
We met at the Pinnacle in Bristol.
Okay. Was Evelyn with her?
No, ma'am.
Did you talk to her about Evelyn?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she say?
She still said that Ethan had her.
Okay. And do you remember Megan getting a phone call while you were talking to her that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know who called her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who called her?
Her father.
Okay. And we're not going to be able to say what he said to her, but what did Megan say to her father over the phone?
She told her father that she would be getting Evelyn back around the 1st of February.
Okay. During this entire time, did Megan ever seem upset?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever see her cry?
No, ma'am.
Did she seem worried about Evelyn?
No, ma'am.
Did she ever seem concerned about Evelyn's safety?
No, ma'am.
Please answer any questions the defense has, okay?
Morning, Ms. Jones. My name's Gene Scott. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's Miss Carter.
Oh, Ms. Carter.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I got it wrong. Did it used to be Ms. Jones?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how often were you around Megan, let's say in 2019? Would you consider yourselves close friends during that time period?
Yes, sir.
How often would you see her?
About twice a month.
Twice a month. And you described a meal, I think it was at Applebee's?
Chili's.
Chili's. When was that meal?
Around the 1st of December.
You say around the 1st of December. Can you be more specific? And let me ask you this way. You equated it to your college semester or your earlier testimony.
Mhm.
Had you finished? Had you taken your exams? Were you waiting to take exams? What part of the end of the college semester were you at?
She actually took me out to eat for celebration of finishing my exams.
So the exams were in December.
Yes, sir.
That's typical, I think, of a college schedule, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So this would have been sometime, say, after the 5th or 6th, maybe?
I would say so.
Do you know what day of the week it was?
I do not.
Would have been a weekday.
Yes.
Ms. Carter, you described Evelyn as being dirty that day.
Yes, sir.
Had you ever seen Evelyn dirty before?
No, sir.
Did you ever see any signs of abuse?
No, sir.
Did Megan seem like a loving mother to you?
Yes, sir.
Did she seem devoted to Evelyn?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever see her neglect her in any way?
No, sir.
Would be fair to say that at some point your friendship with Megan ended?
Yes, sir.
When did that occur?
Around the 1st of January.
And did that have anything to do with Evelyn?
No, sir.
Why did your friendship end?
She lost or misplaced her phone and did not have a way to communicate with me.
Okay, so y'all just quit talking.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Carter, just so we know, your exams, were they were after Thanksgiving?
Yes, sir.
And in 2019, Thanksgiving, I believe, was on the 28th of November. Does that sound right to you?
Yes.
So your exams would have been sometime the first week of December. Monday was the 2nd of December. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
How many days would your exams been?
That whole last week of college.
So the last day of that week is the 6th of December.
Is that on
That's
Friday?
a Friday.
Okay.
Okay, would that have been the day your exams ended?
Yes.
Is that the day you ate?
I cannot recall.
You said you ate it. Did you eat on the last day of exams or just after the last day of exams?
It was the last day of exams.
Okay, so if the last day of exams were on the 6th, it would have been on the 6th.
I guess I'm going to ask if he wants to, we need to probably check that schedule so she doesn't get confused on the dates she's talking about.
Judge, can we approach?
Sidebar. Um, Right, let's get to, come on. What the?
So you think that that was after she had started dating Hunter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I would be mad.
That's all the questions I have.
Did you really think you can?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. Ms. Carter, thank you for your testimony today. Your opinions.
Thank you, sir.